right, let's check in with our legal panel. Joining us live in San Francisco, former San Francisco Assistant DA Jim Hammer, criminal defense attorney Michael Cardozo, and here with me in Washington, criminal defense attorneys Ted Williams and Bernie Grimm. All right, Bernie, what do you think?
Unlike all these other investigations where everybody said he's guilty, he's not guilty, brand new evidence, Jussie Mansour and all the flim-flam he throws out there. This is the first.
I like Jussie.
I like Jussie, okay. I just, if he said.
You're going to come back and apologize like with Brodsky. Everyone personal on Brodsky.
I like Jussie, but if I open up his newspaper tomorrow and see myself as the suspect.
It's not in English.
No, well, I don't know. I was, at any rate, I used to be friends with Hans Brinker. But at any rate, whatever that means, this is the first time that Beth Holloway has said, quote unquote, that she was satisfied with what she saw and she thought it was authentic and it gave her some sense of satisfaction. That doesn't mean he's guilty. To me, maybe it just closes the loop for her, that maybe she feels something has been done and the case is over with, maybe in her mind. Ted?
Look, I'm from Missouri. Show me. I am sick and tired of going.
Louisiana.
But look, the fact about it is we've been down this highway before. Look, just think about this. If the prosecutors have seen this tape, why are they waiting for a television show on Sunday if they have the actual evidence?
Here's the hypothetical.
They
want to see the ratings.
Here's the hypothetical. Maybe they've seen it but not been given a copy. Maybe they wouldn't give it to them until after it airs. That's the first thing. Now, let me just tell you.
Sure.
Secondly, if they go and make an arrest over some tape without trying to corroborate it independently, they are absolutely insane. And they were absolutely insane in December in what they did.
Well, they're still insane. They're conducting an investigation in the public by releasing. We're announcing today that we are going to do this and that.
Look, they were crazy, and I've never defended the Aruban police, or the prosecutor, but the fact that they issued a press release is to tell all of us crazy people in the media to stop calling. That was the whole point. All right, Jim.
Amazing.
You know, Greta, I can't wait to see this tape. I have said all along, if there was one way this case was going to be broken at this point, it was to lull these guys into a sense of confidence and do a wiretap. We do it in homicide cases regularly. This sounds like an investigator essentially doing a wiretap, essentially recording. The question then in those wiretaps, any kind of confession, is context, tone. When you listen to it, is it so convincing that you believe it's true? And then you brought up corroboration. The problem here is, Greta, if there is no crime scene and there's no body left, how in the hell are you going to corroborate?
There's an additional problem, and I'll go to Michael on this, is that, remember the Skeeter tape and the one where Dr. Phil either commissioned it or was sued, and there were some suggestions of editing and jump cuts and all sorts of things. Now it's involved in this big civil lawsuit. So the fact that it's a tape, it's still got to be a nice, clean tape with that, without any cuts, without any funny business.
You don't want all of those experts coming into court and saying this tape is not authentic, this tape has been doctored. But, you know, I've got to tell you, my heart, my emotions are screaming. I hope this really turns something over to the family, to make them at least put this to rest, give them some answers. But my logic tells me there's not a lot to this. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It may answer some questions, but it's not going to solve this crime, because I've got to think, if there were real answers on there, they would be talking to Joran, they would be talking to the Deepak brothers, they'd be doing a whole lot more right now. According
to what I've heard, this is the odd thing, is that not the odd thing, but according to what I've been told about the tape, and there's, I'm not even certain now what people are telling me is the truth, but anyway, is that the Calpo brothers don't have a problem with this tape, in that it suggests more that Joran does. And so I'm more interested in whether the tape is sort of, I guess I want it independently corroborated before I'll give it any credence.
But Greta, think about this. Joran has been around the horn quite a bit. He's no dummy. Now, I know he's human and he could very well make mistakes, and he could have very well made admissions. But if there was some direct admissions that he made to this reporter on a film, and that the authorities now have it, you would think that they would be locking Joran's butt up right away.
Not until they get independent corroborating evidence.
But they might never get that, Greta. When there's no crime scene and no body, we might never get corroboration. So if he goes on and says, we did this and we did that, you might never find the stuff to corroborate that.
I think I would look for details in terms of time. I would look for details, not even simply the body, but if you could get someone talking who committed a crime, hypothetically, and you can at least get the person to give you a timeline, and you can show inconsistencies because the person couldn't be at a particular place.
But they've lied all along, Greta.
That's how you begin to do this.
These guys have lied at various times. It's not enough to convict them unless you can get stuff that only the killer would know, and you can corroborate it.
But with this tape, Greta's right. You've got to get your audio expert to authenticate this tape. To first say nobody's tampered with this tape. Maybe, maybe not. Then you go from there. What's on the tape? What's it lead us to? But this prosecutor has stepped in it before, and I'm sure he wants to wait a minute, give me the tape, let me take a look at this. I think he should have been quiet, not even put the press release out. Let the press call. Don't answer their calls.
And Bernie knows to let Michael talk so long because he said I was right. So
Yeah,
I'll let you have the closing word. I didn't interrupt him when he was saying I was right.
This is an easy one for me. I'm right in step with Hammer. Usually a defendant will say, I shot the victim, I beat the victim. Then you run the forensics, and Mike Bodden says, well, yeah,
exactly.
In fact, the way the person was killed was exactly the way Vandersloot said. No one else in the world could have known that except for the killer.
Exactly.
So.
All right.
Absolutely.
Panel, thank you, especially Michael who said I was right.